So I'm like wondering about an elevator. What is your like elevator definition of circling? What would be the like, yeah, the acorn that contains the whole tree, but how you would get someone started?
Yeah, geez, an elevator pitch on it. Oh God, like my opening circling nights, which I host once a month. I feel like I'm subjecting people to just so much of me explaining because there's just so much there to pack in. And there's stuff that can be explained easily, pithily, in like, one or two sentences intellectually. But then if you just give that to people and you have them circle, they'll, just completely fuck it up. And like, so it's funny just how hard a thing it is to get your finger on. Circling is the practice of meditating, except instead of your object of meditation being breath or pressure points of gravity or ambient sounds or maybe a mantra or maybe like a wish for people. Uh, and of course, the definition of meditating just being like that you stay with the object for as long as you can or do or whatever. And then when you lose your focus of that object, you return to that object. And meditating is not just staying on the object. Meditating is also the awareness practice of noticing that you're not on the object. It's just that with circling, the object to return to instead of being the breath, for example, is one of three things. What am I experiencing in this present moment in an embodied way? So direct sense perceptions, feelings, emotions. Uh, what are you experiencing? And there I don't really know, but I'm kind of looking at you, I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to kind of open up the gates to anything that I'm receiving, maybe consciously or especially unconsciously, even outside of my awareness, where I'm looking at you and I'm like, what are you experiencing in this moment to my, impression slash projection? And then object number three that you can focus on is some aspect of the us, the we, the connection, the in-betweenness. An example I give of that is like if you're talking to your friend and they're just kind of staring off into space, and you have this moment where you turn to your friend, you say, "Hey, are you with me right now?" You see him somewhere else. Like that's an example of observing the feeling of the betweenness and the connection. So focusing on me, my direct sense perceptions, focusing on you, what I think your experience and direct sense perceptions are right now, and focusing on the we. And then I've got a list of like training wheels about, don't run off on stories, don't run off on narratives, uh, own your experience, stuff like that. But that's the essence of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I like the I really like thinking of meditation or as circling as a meditation. There's like so many ways in, and meditation feels like the a really clean way to think about it. It's really like it starts you in kind of a quiet place, like enter in.
But to answer your question as to lineage, I was always following a model that Lindsay and then Adam led, which was the idea of like three agreements, sometimes five agreements.
Mhm.
Agreement number one is honor yourself. So do whatever you need to take care of yourself. If you need to like step out and use the bathroom, I use the example of like, go, it's over there. If you need to take care of yourself, if you need to disengage from the conversation, like wipe the word rude from your vocabulary. Like you are taking care of yourself. And if we happen to have like projections or whatever out of what you're doing for taking care of yourself, that's on us because the first rule is honor yourself. The second rule is honor others, which isn't like care for others, which isn't like make sure other people are comfortable. Honor others is like, let other people do their thing, let them take care of themselves, let them set up their own boundaries, which again is like kind of a radical reinvention of the kind of norm in our normal society where it's just like, be nice to everybody, be kind. It's not quite that because it fosters a specifically strong sense of independence as opposed to kind of a general sense of dependence. So honor yourself, honor others. They're kind of flip sides of the same coin. Let other people take the boundaries as they need to. Let other people have uncomfortable experiences for themselves, see what they can handle. Chances are they actually can handle it. And if they're feeling like they can't, let them ask for help. There's a really valuable piece in that. And then the third agreement is own your experience. Um, Talking from a place of I, talking from what I'm personally like directly irrefutably experiencing from my sense perceptions. And if I'm going to make up some story about, you're not paying attention to me because you're insecure because like you wish you could be as good, all that story stuff, that I'm explicitly labeling that as story and not anything that I really know from my own personal experience. So I looked around online. This doesn't seem to be like a relatefulness thing. This doesn't seem to be a circling Europe thing. I think this came out of the lineage of Guy Sengstock's lineage out in San Francisco, which to differentiate himself, I think he has called his tradition original circling or original circling method or something like that. So I believe I'm unknowingly carrying out kind of like his lineage. But in terms of like birthday slash focus circles versus like organic versus surrendered leadership or whatever, I don't know. It's all there in the big toolbox. And my understanding is that just they came from like different places, and now people just kind of integrate them all in according to what you want to orient towards on a given day.
Hmm.